Well, it's been a while, about a week now, and as you have noticed, some of my videos have my video output has been coming to a halt, and you might be wondering. Some of you know what happened, and some of you might not be in the know of what happened. But before I begin with that, it's good to see all of you again. It's good to be back. I am sounding and feeling much better. But anywho, I'm just gonna get right to the point. This past week, you might be wondering, what's this on my face here? What's this chainmail on my face? What happened earlier this week? It's still this week. I can say past week, but earlier this week. The short answer is I had to go to the emergency room because I was in a very critical place, health-wise. But the long answer is this. For the longest time, since I was 3 years old, I've had issues with my neck and mostly my glands. But really this only happened, it really only got bad, in the last couple of years. But back when I was about 3 years old, I had what was called a thyroglossal duct cyst removal. And, basically what that is, the thyroglossal duct, it's this, duct, that is about right here, kind of where the tongue is, below the tongue, and it goes down this way. But when you're forming in the womb, when you're, still a fetus or whatever, it's supposed to move down and, move away and whatnot. Well, in some children that doesn't happen. But what happened to me was this duct didn't move and a cyst formed there when I was 3 years old. So I had the cyst removed. Now, I was 3 years old at the time, and I accidentally pulled my stitches out, and it resulted in scarring on my neck, and the surgeon didn't repair it, and I've had a hole in my neck. Pretty much the entirety of my life. So yeah. Now, whether that had anything to do with this or not, I have no idea, but I'm just kind of giving you a history of my neck problems. And then about a year and a half ago, I had a infected hair follicle on this side of my neck, and a cyst swelled up to about the size of a lemon over here. And that one was actually easily taken care of. It was taken care of antibiotics. And then a plastic surgeon removed it and everything. So that one was no problem. Well, what happened to me recently was a lot more serious. A cyst had formed here in the middle of my neck. And it had formed in that pocket where that thyroglossal duct that I had spoken of earlier, that pocket right here, that the duct usually leaves. It's like the duct is like it goes straight down and then leaves kind of a pocket right here and then goes down again. And if my biology is wrong here, my human anatomy is wrong here, please forgive me. It's been a crazy week. But another cyst had formed there and had swelled up to about the size of a grapefruit. Like this thing had gotten pretty big, guys. And I went in Monday to work. And I had noticed it had swollen up pretty bad, and I thought, okay, this is looking pretty serious. And then about midday, I started having chills and my bones started hurting. So, I had aches and pains and stuff like that. And I knew immediately that was the telltale sign of a fever. So I took my temperature. It was 100.5. I went, okay, I need to go to the doctor. So my boss was gracious enough to let me go home. Not let me go home, but let me leave. I went down to the doctor. And I thought this was just going to be a repeat of, the infected hair follicle. I was like, antibiotics and, whatever. We'll get that taken care of. The doctor took a look at it and said, oh, that looks concerning. And then I started getting worried. And so she took some blood work. And then a couple of minutes later, she came back and she said, okay, your white blood cell count is super high right now. And usually what that means is there's a very high infection in your body. And she said, and this is the part that actually scared the shit out of me, if I'm being completely honest. She said that we need to get you to a specialist and into the emergency room because it's possible that in the next couple of hours your airway could shut off. And my voice had gotten extremely hoarse by this point, and I just hadn't really paid attention to it. But just like being told that, I was just like I had never been told anything like that, just because I'd never been in a spot like this. And so my wife, I called my wife and called my mother, called my parents, and my wife met me at the clinic, and we drove down to St. Dominic's Hospital, which is wonderful. God bless them. And went into the ER, gave them the information and the lab work from the clinic, and they immediately got me into the ER room, and got me hooked up with antibiotics, and like super hard hitting antibiotics. Like immediately started having an impact on me. They did several tests. They had planned a CT scan just to figure out exactly what this was. And basically what had happened was a cyst had formed in that same place from 30 years ago that had impacted me when I was 3 years old. And two things were happening. It was pushing on my airway, and it was giving me MRSA, which if you don't know what MRSA is, it's basically a form of a staph infection that is highly resilient to antibiotics. And had that not been taken care of, if my airway had not been closed off, this would have gotten further into my bloodstream, and more than likely I would have gone septic, and it probably would have killed me. How long that would have taken, I don't know, but from the way the doctors described it, like this was a very close call. But they got me in there. They got me in their room. The surgeon saw me the same day. He said, "Oh yeah, you're going into surgery tomorrow, absolutely." And thankfully, they had me on 2 heavy-duty antibiotics. Like these things went to work immediately. And man, I tell you what, like that staff and those doctors and those nurses and those caretakers at St. Dominic's those are some of the best people I've ever met in my life. And my parents, who just kind of a personal thing, both of my parents are divorced, and just seeing them come together, when I was in kind of when I was in such a critical state, just really did wonders for me, and my in-laws, and even my this is getting a little heavy for me to speak about, but my preacher came by, and I know not everybody is religious or anything like that, and I try not to talk about such things on this channel just because I know it can be a sensitive thing, but he did something very meaningful for me. He prayed over me, and he anointed me with oil on my forehead, and laid his hands on me, and I could just feel something, man. And then I've been reading the comments from you guys when I was giving y'all the best updates I could give, and I know the updates have taken so long just because everything just happened so fast, and just seeing all the love and support from you guys, like I could just feel it, man. But I'm sorry, I'm getting a little teary-eyed here. I'm so sorry. But anywho, the next day I went into surgery, and the guy said basically we're going to drain this thing, and then I'm going to put a drain in your neck to get the rest of it out. And and I'm still on antibiotics, and I was able to go home the next day after surgery because and it was miraculous. Like after surgery, like when I woke up from the surgery, like my pain was gone. Like those antibiotics had done their job, or were still doing their job. That surgery, that like my pain was like instantly gone. My voice was back. For about a week and a half, I hardly had a voice at all, and that was because this thing was pushing on my airway. Excuse me. That's leftover crud in the system right there, but that's nothing to be worried about. I go back Monday morning, and he's going to look at the incision and the drain, and hopefully get that sealed up and get the drain taken out of my neck. My fever's been down for days now, and so I'm doing 1,000 times better. And yeah, that's basically what happened to me this week, this Thanksgiving week. And it was, y'all, it's been crazy. Like I did not wake up Monday morning thinking that was going to happen. It was just so sudden, and it was just so dramatic and just life shattering. Really, it really was. It was like, I mean, because I've never had, and I'm not saying this to be dramatic, but it's like, man, I've never had like a near death experience, but just being told about how just like literally how close that was, like how much of a close call that was. Like it's left me just not just kind of beside myself since then, but it's made me even more grateful for the things I have in this life, and the things that I've had, not just possessional things, but people. Like I am even more grateful for my wife, who stood by me the entire way. My brother, my parents, my family, my preacher, and gosh, and you guys sending me all the love and support that you did. And it's just made me so grateful for everything. And I'm just like, man, I know what I'm thankful for this Thanksgiving, and I'm just thankful just to feel how loved I am, man. And then just I'm thankful to be alive, if I'm being completely honest. And yeah. Yeah. But I really am. So yeah, that's basically what happened to me this week. And again, thank y'all for your patience. I know the videos have kind of come to a halt, and I know you guys have been super understanding about that. And thank you for your patience. Thank you for your love and prayers and support and positivity and just everything. And I want y'all to know, I literally felt all of that. I really did. And it looks like things are just going to get better from here. So, but I wanted to give you guys an update on exactly what happened. And the thing is, I'm okay now. Like I'm okay. And I'm yeah, but I'm okay. Like I'm good. And I appreciate you guys, and I promise we'll get the ball rolling soon again. But again, I just wanted to say thank you to everyone that sent their love, their prayers, their thoughts, their positivity, just their comments, just anything. Just I appreciate it, and thank all of you. Thank you so much. And we'll be back to stuff very soon, hopefully by next week. But yeah, until then, thank you again, and you have a wonderful day. And of course, you stay shway, baby, because I'm feeling pretty shway myself. Thank you again, and take care, and I'll see you next time.